Good morning, YouTube. It's about 6 o'clock in the morning here in San Francisco. It's wet but not raining, which is fantastic. I am waiting for an Uber. Just gonna meet with my bunch of guys this morning, hang out and encourage each other, and then I've got a ton of work. Doing a couple newsletters today. My personal newsletter should go out today. Have a link in the description below for that. I have a newsletter that goes out for my startup and a blog post for both. And then I've got this new experiment, which I'll mention right now very briefly around YouTube, but won't be sharing any of the results of that particular experiment probably for quite some time. But I'm excited. I love experiments. I love trying new things. I love kind of poking things. I think that's one of my like the most consistent visual metaphors for myself is just like I'm the guy that I was the kid that if I saw something new or if the burner was hot, I almost had to touch it. Like I wanted to go just touch it. And so I love trying new things and experimenting and seeing what happens when you just poke things.
Why can't you just be better about not doing this or this? Why is it
It's
always?
just I'm putting it right here.
Why is it always hello from above or hello from down here?
I'm not.
That's how it always looks.
There we go. What's up, guys? I had actually recorded this earlier today, but I felt like I was trying to be too much of an educator when honestly this is just a very casual conversation and a very casual answer and not a very complex answer either. But I was asked a question today, which is a great question, and a question I've quite literally been asked maybe 1,000 times, no hyperbole. I was asked it once again, hey, I love the software industry, I love the technology industry. I'm not in the software and technology industry, and I'm interested in getting into software programming, software development. Where should I start? And some iteration thereof. How do I begin to change my career from where I am today into software engineering, software development to become a software developer? And I love that question because it's actually really easy, or at least the answer is very, very simple. But first a sip of tea. So my answer can be grossly applied to anyone who's considering a career change, because the answer is the same. When considering a career change, which is a very important decision, where I start with is people. So I'll just give you the TLDR. The answer is relationship density and relationship networking. Now here's why when you considered a career change, you start with building relationships. It's because you have very little data. You believe that the new career path, in this example, software engineering or software development, is the better career and you want to move into that space. But the fact is you don't have any native residential knowledge. You just have presumptions. You have assumptions about what that industry and market is like. And you've read a few blog posts or maybe industry articles telling you why it's better, but that's not really boots on the ground data that you can use. So what you want to do is begin to create a better data set around those assumptions so that you're making a better, more informed, intelligent decision. And that starts with people. So my counsel to this gentleman today was the first thing you do, right? Before you decide the technology or the programming language, that's one of the first things that people ask is, hey, I want to get into software engineering. What software language should I start with? And I'm just like, any of them? You see, this is where people comes into play. If you begin to build a relational network with people in that industry, within that field, within that vocation, they can begin to give you data that's very valuable to you. That'll create context around some of your decision making. That'll fill the gaps of information that you don't have currently. So you can make more informed and wise and intelligent decisions. So that's what I told this gentleman is the first thing you do before trying to study any particular software technology or software language is go start building relationships with people in your own personal network who are in that field. So for this gentleman, who I believe is in New York, start going to meetups, software development meetups. Start getting to know people within that field. Start building those relationships, right? Because they're going to fill in the gaps. And to answer the technology question, just imagine, for instance, if you start networking and for whatever reason, you feel a great affinity, start building relationships with a bunch of Python developers. Great. You should start with Python because you now have friends and relationships and a relational density around the Python community that is going to be very useful for you as you begin to explore this new career. And if it's JavaScript or if it's COBOL, no, not COBOL, just kidding. If it's some other language, if it's Swift or Objective-C or Ruby on Rails or yada, 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 like it doesn't really matter. But what you lack, what you need, are relationships within that field. And so that's where you start. And as you can imagine, like this is grossly applicable, as I said, to any career change. You want to move into a different field, if you want to move into marketing, product management, going to become a doctor or a lawyer, or considering it like a significant career change outside of your current industry, go start making friends with people in that field. Get boots on the ground data around what that industry is really like, not just what you read, because that's not very helpful. You need allies, you need networks, you need friends, so that as you move toward that career, you have a support network. The worst decision you can make is try to do this in isolation. And this is somewhat of a corollary fact, but also, again, very applicable to any industry, is software development is a team sport. The sooner you make this a community-based decision, rather than an independent decision where you sitting in your bedroom thinking, I think I'm going to be a software engineer. Like, that really doesn't happen. Like, building software is a team sport, just like really any other job. So again, building that relational network is important. So I answered that gentleman's question. I thought, man, that's a great topic to discuss. I recorded this very complex video with like whiteboards and I did some graphs and stuff, and I just felt icky after it. I felt like I was being a little bit patronizing, but I wanted it to be a super casual conversation, again, over a coffee or tea, and just chat with you honestly about how I think about career changes. They don't have to be complex. They don't have to be difficult. You just need allies. You need friends and a network that can help you and support you through your decision-making process, and you need more data. You need relational data to help you make those informed, intelligent decisions around what could be a very exciting season or next season of your career. So hopefully that's helpful. I think that's it. I'm gonna go work out, and I'm gonna edit this video while I'm on the elliptical, and I think I'll be done. Hope you guys have a great evening. Hope you guys had a great day, a very productive one for me. And I will see you guys tomorrow. So have a good one.